Good morning, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome back to True Crime Material. So, this is just going to be an open discussion on what's going on currently in the Summer Wells case. Not really expecting a lot of people to come in, being that it's 5:32 a.m. on the East Coast. But this is what time I get up, and if you're like me, you put a lot of thought into this case, and probably more so than you should, or than I should. But I'll be honest with you guys. When this case first came on to YouTube, onto the scene, so to speak, we were still watching, the Morphew case, and I took one look at Summer's case because I seen a bunch of creators, kind of jump on it, and my immediate reaction was no, I don't want to cover that. I looked at it and thought this is going to be a mess. Unfortunately, I was right. So, and now I'm, way too invested to even stop. I actually care about this child and her being found and the people that made her get gone being brought to justice. So, I was listening to a live stream last night, and they were talking about Don getting help, getting rehab. I have some thoughts on that. Even if Don does do all the rehabs and he gets clean and he gets off of alcohol and drugs, you can't rehab the child predator out of someone. You just can't. You can't change those kinds of people. That is their sexual preference. Disgustingly so. But that's their sexual preference. So even if you fix him, so to speak, with his addictions, that's not going to change. So I'm glad he's in jail, and I hope to never see him back out on the streets again, because children just aren't safe around this guy. And again, this is not me slandering Don Wells. He admitted this. So, it is what it is. As far as Candace goes, I don't even really think there's a lot of hope for her. People are very optimistic sometimes, and they're like, everybody, there's hope for everyone. Maybe. But when I see a mother that just has no emotion for her missing child, what kind of help is there for a person like that? Her affect is so flat. This has been talked about over and over and over again, but it's true. So not even rehab, in my opinion, is going to be enough for these two. There's so much, they both need like intense therapy. Intense therapy. And then even that, hi, Carrie. Good to see you in Montana. I'm from Delaware, so I guess you're 3 hours behind me. Not really sure. That's mountain time, or yeah, it's 5:30 a.m. here. So I wake up kind of like I do every morning and start thinking about the Summer Wells case. This case kind of, just consumed me, and I feel like it's a little unhealthy, to be honest with you. But it's hard not to get wrapped up in this case. And there are days where I'll take a couple days off of YouTube and just not look at anything. But every time I come back, there's been a world of things that have happened, just in a matter of 48 hours. So when Chris McDonough said, oh, there's a lot of moving parts, well, that's an understatement. Everybody's thinking, I've seen a lot of polls where everybody's like, they think Candace is going to stick this out with Don. I don't believe so. I mean, she may be around when he gets out, if he starts working again and but do I think that Candace is just going to be the celibate nun up on the hill? Absolutely not. I think she is going to do everything she can to find someone else. I mean, she's unfortunate looking, and I'm trying to say that as nice as possible, but she is. And, we can't really say her personality is stellar from what we've seen. So I think finding anyone new, it might prove a little hard for her. That's not to say I don't think she's going to try, because I definitely think she's going to. If that offended anyone, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest, I guess. I'm not the most beautiful person either, just so everybody knows. You guys have seen me. Sorry, on on videos and stuff, but I think it's going to be very difficult for Candace to find another person, but definitely think she's going to go for it. And she's got 6 months to try it. She's got 6 months to try to wrangle in some other guy that can provide for her. Being that I darn near an expert in astrology, and not trying to toot my own horn here, but I've been studying astrology since I was a teenager, and I'm 40 now. So she's a Taurus. If any of you are Tauruses and you're listening, you know how Tauruses are when it comes to working. It's surprising to me that Candace did not have a job prior to all of this happening, just because she's a Taurus. But then again, she had the 4 kids at home, and I think she was absolutely miserable. But now that she has nothing, no people around her, I wouldn't be really that surprised to see her get a job or attempt to. Even if it's working at Don's old job, as a helper or something like that. I could see her trying to do something like that. But I do think she's going to try to take the more easier route and find some hapless guy that, is just willing to shell out money for her. And I don't think that that's going to happen for her. But I think she's going to do that. Maybe she might be able to get a job at the hippie house or something. That's right up her alley. But I don't think that her and Grandis necessarily wanted him gone, because Don is the breadwinner. But at the same time, they both hate him. So it's like a lose-lose with these people. And I asked this question, maybe a month or so ago. What in the world binds these 3 people that cannot stand each other together? It has to be secrets. It has to be some sort of crime that they're all 3 afraid of, that they will not tell on each other. Because if one of them, just one of them, was innocent, especially Grandis, like if Grandis didn't know, if Grandis didn't do anything, have no part in this, you don't think that she'd be ratting Don out? Of course she would. Of course, there's no doubt in my mind. Matter of fact, I think Grandis is going to be my next read. I haven't done a read on her yet, and she's so elusive, and we don't hear from her. We've seen nothing, no pleading from her or anything for her granddaughter. So I think I'm going to do my next read on good old Grandis and tap into what the heck is going on with that woman, because never in my life, I'll be honest with you, me and my mother don't get along. We just don't. We haven't. My mother's done a lot of things I'm not going to get into, but we don't get along. But I will tell you that if my 5-year-old went missing, my mom would be here. We might not speak a whole lot to each other, but my mother would be here, especially if she lived with me. Good Lord. You live there and you leave. That's always been so suspicious to me. Where did you go? I know where she said she went, but is that actually where she went? Who in their right mind leaves their daughter right after their granddaughter goes missing? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I'm wondering, and I've always wondered, Grandis, did you get rid of evidence? Just throw the pillows out on wherever you were driving to across state lines, wherever you were going? Did you throw out the pillows? Did you do that? I mean, because it just doesn't make sense. Plant Diva says, Grandma is the ringleader in this circus, in my opinion. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm really not going to disagree with you on that. Her quietness speaks volumes. Volumes, in my opinion. It just, every time I think about that woman, I think about my own grandmother. I think about other people's grandmother, how they would, react, and staying dead silent and leaving never comes to mind for any other grandmothers that I know. So exactly, Plant Diva. Her quiet is extremely loud. I couldn't have said that better myself. Hi, Seven in Life. How are you? Welcome to my live stream. We're just having an open discussion here on what's going on currently with the Summer Wells case for you guys that are just coming in. And just talking about Don being in jail, what that means for Candace, what that means for this case. I talked about it a little bit in one of my other videos I just did a couple days ago, but I do think this is the beginning of the end for these people. I think this is the beginning of the end. I don't see this getting any better for any of them. I think Candace is going to make extremely foolish decisions. That's just not going to be surprising to too many people. And I think Don's going to do what Don has been doing, running his mouth and chatting it right up away. I mean, he is in solitary confinement. So I'm not too sure how many people he has around him very often. What does he get out? 1 hour a day? Let's see. Here's another comment from chat. The excuse I heard was she has been through this and knows better than to talk. Okay, social media wasn't around big when Rose went missing, so it is not a good enough excuse for me. Yes, exactly. I mean, and why is it better not to talk? If your granddaughter is missing and you had nothing to do with this and you truly do not know where she is, why are you not screaming from the rooftops? Why? I mean, do you guys remember that case with that guy? I can't remember his name, but his fiance went missing. She was pregnant, and he was, giving interviews, and everybody was blaming him. Everybody was just so convinced that it was his fault. He did something to her, but it turned out her best friend had her cut up in the trunk, and she had taken the baby. This guy never stopped. He didn't care. That's the point. He didn't care what everybody was saying about him, because he knew what he was saying was the truth. And he didn't stop looking for his fiance or his unborn baby. And people, they came out and apologized hugely to him. But, that's somebody that was innocent, that just was like, okay, fine. You guys think it's me. It's not me. I want to find the person that I love. And they eventually did. Candace's excuses are BS, in my opinion. Just complete BS. She knows how it is. She knows it's better to be quiet. That's a crock of crap. It's not better to be quiet. Look at Michael Vaughn. His mother would love to have this type of exposure. Would love for people to be saying his name everywhere and talking about him and trying to find this kid. How many people, I don't know how many creators at this point, I know I'm one of them, but I don't know how many people, have been to Hawkins County to try to find Summer. And what do the Wells do? They turn them away. Unless you're a criminal and you want to go up on their hill and party with them, I'm not going to say any other creators' names, but unless you want to do stuff like that, they turn you away. They don't want help. They don't, that's the thing. They never thought, because look how many kids go missing. Look how many people go missing every day. And most of them get no exposure. They might get a blip, maybe, if they're lucky, in the local news. Maybe. But this type of exposure is huge. And, I guarantee you, those people that are begging for help. Hi, Harsh Reality. Good to have you here. Begging for this kind of exposure. Not the Wellses. Not them. They never thought it was going to blow up this way, in my opinion. So, and I've also, I don't know if you guys watched my read on Don and Candace's energy. I don't know if you're into tarot. If you are, you go ahead and watch that video. But I tapped into their energy yesterday. And, there's people that are saying, oh, Don loves it in jail. No, he doesn't. Not according to my cards, anyway. No, he does not. He does not want to be in there at all. So, there's a lot. Their energy, speaking of, the tarot cards, their energies come through pretty strongly. I don't really have to pull too much. It kind of just comes right out. But it's just so obvious. I've been saying for a while, that there's no love lost between Candace and Don. I always found it really telling. If you guys remember when he said, I think he was telling Chris McDonough that he was surprised that him and Candace stayed on the phone as long as they did. Like when he was on his way home, the day Summer went missing, that he was very surprised that they stayed on the phone the whole time, because they, in his words, quote, "We don't have a connection like that." Know what I mean? We don't have a connection like that. So I was surprised, but stayed on the phone the whole time. I mean, it was kind of like, what? Your daughter's missing. What do you mean you're surprised you stayed on the phone with your wife the whole time? Like, holy cow. So that's just, right from the gate, it was obvious that these two have, I don't even think you call it a relationship. I don't know what you would call it. Harsh Reality says, I agree. I have covered this on my own channel. Oh, okay. I didn't know you had a channel, Harsh Reality. I'll have to go over and check it out. I've covered this on my own channel, and these guys are so guilty. Let's see. Even if not of direct harm, it is certainly indirect. I absolutely. I mean, I think you would have had to fall off the turnip truck yesterday to not think that these people have zero knowledge of what happened to their daughter. Plant Diva, I do not, but I would love for you to refresh my memory. 7 to Life. How in the hell is Candace still at home getting drunk, doing drugs, and not in cuffs? Great question. Great question, 7 to Life. And, you remember the old saying, no body, no crime? I think that plays a part here. Even though it's getting a lot easier, or not a lot, but it's getting easier to, we look at the Morphew case, Barry was still arrested even without Suzanne's body. It's getting a little bit easier to prosecute people, arrest people without finding the body. But I do think that is okay, Plant Diva. If you find it, here, I'll post it in chat. This is my email, because I would just like to watch it myself. I'm gonna put my email in the chat and email it to me if you find it. Do you even know whose channel it was on? Oh, oh no, that was all messy. Sorry. Let me try that again. There you go. There's my email. So if you find it, I would really like to see that. Um, I'm telling you, I just remember. I think I seen Plunder like one of the first people to start like that came across my news feed. I seen Plunder, and then I seen a couple more start to talk about summer, and I looked at it a little bit. I looked at the parents, and I said no, no, I don't want to cover this case. I just had a really bad feeling about it. Harsh reality. Um, says, remember Rose going missing? Now, would it not be fair to say that if Candace had anything to do with this and subsequently gotten away with it, that it would lead to the display of arrogance she does? Yeah, I've definitely thought about that harsh reality. Absolutely. Definitely thought about that. Because and that's another little thing. You know, it's always the little things. It's always the little things. And if you remember in the Chris McDonough when he went to the house and he asked her, you know, he saw the picture of Rose and he said, you know, do you think her ex-husband had anything to do with that? And she goes, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it was like all one word, like, I don't know, you know, we don't know, you know, there was none of that. It was just like all one word, I don't know. Shrugging of the shoulders, done, moving on. It was a very, to me, it was a very odd, what do you want to call it? Reaction, you know, because if that was my little sister, I would take that opportunity that here's an ex homicide detective inside of my home. I would absolutely take that opportunity to tell him everything about that case and go right on and hope that he tries to help our family find her. But she just shrugged that right off. Shrugged it right off. And I'll say something else to you guys. You know, I know everyone has their own theories, everyone has their own opinions. Um, but I never subscribed to the waterhole theory. I just never did. I always thought, you know, I don't think so. But, but when I went there, that changed. I don't know what it was. And just because I read tarot cards does not mean I'm a psychic. I am not a psychic. But when I went there and I walked around that water and I stood there was something in my gut that was so wrong. I felt overwhelmed. I felt uneasy. I felt like something bad had happened there. Whatever it was, I do not know, you know. And I remember looking down and seeing the rocks in the water and thinking about Hunter saying, oh, she hit her head on a rock. And Candace, you know, no, there's no rocks here. Where do you see rocks here? Well, Candace, I was there and I saw the rocks there. And I also saw them tree branches and all that trash and all that stuff that you had your daughter swimming around in. But there is a very eerie feeling around that water hole. I don't really want to mention her. I don't watch her. I'm not subscribed to her. But I will say that when I heard Molly Golightly cried at the water hole, I didn't really think that was BS because I did too. And I didn't put that on tape or anything like that, but I did too because there was something wrong there. Like you just felt it, you just knew it. And everything after the water hole does not make sense. Everything she did, putting her in this track suit, windows up, windows down, her laying on cold milk, none of that makes any sense. The timeline from that time forward is just completely off. Completely off. Oh, there was a lot of debris. And I was really surprised, you know, with like the tree branches and stuff sticking out of the water the way that they were. She did say in the McDonough interview that, you know, when the water level was down, you could see the tree branches more. And that's true because I saw them. But it's why on earth do you really, Plant Diva? I've seen other people say the same, that they don't believe, this happened on the 15th. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't have an opinion on that yet. Harsh reality. Um, see what you have to say. 100% something happened at the waterhole. This is my exact theory. Injury resulting in death. Look at the Bob Saget death. Hits his head. Is fine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Any type of head injury needs to be looked at. Um, I was shocked, that when I seen that that's how Bob Saget died. It's really unfortunate. It's really sad. It's just a tragic accident, but it just begs the question of, if this was an accident, why would you go to such lengths to hide this child? I mean, is it because of the SA? That's the only conclusion I can come to, because what other reason would you have? If this was an accident, you know, unless Candace was drinking with Hunter, and we can go into the weeds with that. Yeah, same with Liam Neeson's wife. You're right. There is 7 to life. There really is this very um you just there's something, like when your gut tells you there's something there, like there's something wrong. You may not know what it is. That's exactly the feeling that you get at the waterhole, and I was not expecting that. I wanted to see just what it looked like for myself, but I wasn't expecting to have any sort of emotional reaction to it or anything. I was going to film to see it for myself, and then I was going to show you guys, around. That was just my intentions, just that. But when I got there, that was out the window, because as soon as I started walking down that path, I felt it. Like, oh no, there's something very wrong here. Like, something has happened here. And I didn't get that feeling at the end of their driveway, because we did go to 110 Ben Hill Road. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. People that subscribe to the abduction theory, if you have been to that property, if you've been around it, you will know right away that abduction is just off the table. Oh, there's my phone alarm. Dismiss that. But you'll know. You'll just know right away. I took one look. I mean, probably 5 seconds, and I was like, nope, this child was not abducted from this house. It's just it's just not. When you go to turn on to Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek Road, there is a sign that says no throughway. So it's a public road, but it feels extremely private. Like, when you start driving down it, it's eerie. It just has an eerie feeling to it. And you almost feel like you're invading people's privacy, even though you have every right to be on that road because it's public. It doesn't feel public at all. It really feels like you're kind of like going into people's, properties or something. I don't know. It was a very weird feeling. I did want to get off of that road quickly. Like, I just didn't like being there. Plus, in my opinion, it is a little creepy to be going to people's houses. But, okay, Harsh. Take care of yourself. Thank you for your comments. And I definitely will be checking your channels out. Or your channel, sorry. So if anybody watches Harsh Reality or doesn't, why don't you guys go over there and check out their channel too? But yeah, my experiences there were just eerie. You're welcome. Thank you again. I I did watch some of the Hog Team, a little bit of their work, if you want to call it work, but I did watch a little bit of their videos, and I saw their neighbors and stuff, and some of them I I have talked to myself. And but of course, you didn't see those videos from me because they didn't want to be on camera, so I didn't put them on. Um, but I was surprised that they came at them as hard as they did because we didn't get that sort of welcome. Then again, I didn't go there, with a bullhorn or anything, but they were very nice to me. I do have to say that they were very nice to me. They spoke to me. They gave me their opinions on what they thought happened to Summer. But the neighbors around there, as long as it seems to me like as long as you treat them with respect and act like normal people, they're going to do the same with you. But if you come up there, disturbing their peace and causing a bunch of ruckus, then I could see how they would get upset. I would get upset too. Give me 1 second, guys. Today is my daughter's Valentine's Day party at school, and she's got oh, I'm so sorry. She's got oh, I'm so sorry. She's got her dress picked out and she can't wait to go, and I can't wait to send her, and she's got all her cards done, even though she did about 3 of them by herself and quit, and I had to finish writing out her classmates' names. But on Summer's birthday, I made a very short little 3-minute video, and I got really emotional in that video. And it's kind of like the same thing, and it's like when I see my 5-year-old, doing these things. She's in school. She's celebrating Valentine's Day for the very first time. She's so excited. It breaks my soul that Summer never got to experience that. She never got to wear her special tracksuit for her first day of school. She never got to go to a Valentine's Day event at her school. She never got to feel those little joys that little kids do. It's the milestone moments. Thank you, Plant Diva. It's just painful to think about. She's such a beautiful little girl. Um, I actually I have 2 daughters. My youngest is 5 and my oldest is 18. So my 18-year-old daughter, I've gotten to see all of her milestones, and she really, her looks wise, reminds me of Summer. My 18-year-old daughter is blonde hair, blue eyed, and she's a beautiful girl. And just like Summer, she's a beautiful little girl. And I look at Summer and I just think of my own kids. Like this I know you see, I get emotional when I start talking about this kind of stuff. I don't know why. I just get emotional about it. I don't want to cry. I'll be crying on every live stream, every video I do. It upsets me. It does. And I will tell you guys that I probably will not be covering another child case for quite a while. My hat's off to people that do this because I can't imagine it. Just being a YouTuber and covering the case in general is stressful. It's just stressful. I can't imagine what these law enforcement officers are feeling, what their community's feeling. It's just got to be devastating. 7 to Life says, I do not understand why would anyone send Don 300 while he is sitting in jail. He is in there for a reason, people. What do you not get? It's sick. I completely agree. That's going up on the screen. Completely agree. I said that in my last video that I wanted to remind everyone, if you want to send these people money, please remember that they have severe substance abuse issues. that their children were taken away, not because Summer got gone, but CPS was already involved. Let them figure it out. Let this case break. It needs to. Sending Don $300 for what? Why? Yes, Plant Diva. This case really did it to me. It just really did it to me. I was very heavily invested in the Vallow case, and I've talked about that. But that case didn't even grab me like this one did. It grabbed me pretty heavily, but not like this one. There's something about Summer. You know, you ever seen that old movie, There's Something About Mary? Well, there's something about Summer. I really, I could say all the things. Like, she was just too good for these people. It's so sad to me that she was born into a life with these people. Yeah, I think about it quite often. You know, I've talked about this case so much that my family, my kids, my significant other, my friends, they all know who Summer Wells is. They all know because I talk about it so much. They all know who she is. You know, they know about the case because I talk about it so often. But it's just I want this child found so badly. You know, I just think about her being wherever she may be, and it all alone. I just picture her that way, out in the woods all alone somewhere. And it just breaks my heart. It truly breaks my heart. Bring her home. Give her a proper burial. She deserves that at the very least. Plant Diva says, I think the pics are revealing. Seems the closer Summer got to 5, the more miserable and sad she looks. And yes, the same with me and my family and friends. I think you're right. I noticed when, her younger pictures, like when she looks like around 2, maybe 3, she looked a lot dirtier. Her hair, the pictures that I've seen anyway. But she did smile more. And then it does seem as she's getting older, the smile has gone away. And, I think it's really telling that she got gone at the very age of Don's, his target prey, 5. Admittedly, he was essaying Jeannie at that age. And here's Summer, 5 years old, and she disappears while in the care of her mother, who just has no clue in the world what was happening. One minute we were planting flowers, and the next minute she was just gone. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, do you think we're all idiots here? And apparently I do feel like they think we are. But that makes zero sense. A 5-year-old just went missing from inside of your home? Since when? I'll tell you something about my 5-year-old. She doesn't leave me alone. I have to say to her, Aubrey, why don't you go in your room and play for a little bit so mommy can watch a show or something? Because my 5-year-old, even if I wanted to, leave her or something, which I don't, but if I did, she wouldn't have that. She would, Mommy, I'm coming with you, or, she would be right by my side. So it's BS. You're correct, Plant Diva. It is absolute BS. There's no way I'm buying that. I think Summer was primed at that age. I think Don was looking at her just like he was looking at Jeannie. And my cards tell me that she was jealous. She didn't like that. I mean, her and Don have a horrible relationship as it is. And then you're going to add SA of the daughter into it, or it was already happening. Candace gets no attention. How many I've seen her several times say to people in a couple of live streams, and then when she was catfished, how she makes food and Don never eats it. And that really bothers her. You know, she's got to eat by herself. This woman she's been like emotionally starved for attention. And then here's another thing. And I think Summer was a thing to her. I don't think Summer was a daughter. I think Summer was a thing to her. There's another thing taking away Don's attention. Yeah, it doesn't add up. None of it. Linda, thank you. Um, yeah, me and my significant other picked that name out, and um, I like it too. So thank you. But yeah, see, I go on little rants, and then I gotta kind of decompress before I start getting really loud because I get so upset. No, it's not from a Bread song. But you know what? I love Bread. I love their group. That's really odd that you bring that up because I was just listening to their music the other day. I'm 40, but my neighbors when I was growing up, um, their dad was like really into 60s, 70s music, and I learned all that kind of music from him. And I'm so thankful that you know, they moved in across the street and I met them and I learned all that from him. Uh yeah, it is a very beautiful song. Plant Diva, it is before my time, but I still, like I said, I do know that music and it's great music. It's just classic. Plant Diva, I think DNC, all of them, generation after generation of horrific abuse. We can't imagine this is all they know. This is their normal. It is. It really is. It's generational abuse and it just goes straight down the line. Straight down the line from Grandis to Candace to Summer. Um, you know, people talk about the Suns. You know, they do talk about them, but I don't think we talk about them enough because just like Summer, they were in that house too. And thank God that nothing happened to them. Um, but it's so I don't know what the word is. Summer saved her brothers. She did. Not she didn't want to that you know, she didn't do it directly, but she saved her brothers. And I really hope that if the boys know something, that they feel comfortable enough to say, to tell the truth, if they know. Because I got a lot of questions about how much they actually saw Summer that day. Um, you know, one of the boys said that they were playing hide and go seek. Well, were they? You know, it just there's so much. There's so much you could weed through this case every single day. Go down the timeline, look at all the players, and it's like I still come to the same conclusion, and it's WTF. I I'd really love to see them grab Grandis by the back of the neck and drag her in and really grill the crap out of her. And if that sounds harsh, I'm sorry. But that woman, in my opinion, knows so much. And I would just love to see them grill the heck out of her. I mean, I don't know how tough she is to interview, but she can't be that darn tough. I mean, these men have experience doing this, right? Did any of you guys listen to the Donna Serafina? um, reading on Summer's case. Plant Diva. I've changed my theories so many times, and I just keep thinking the 15th was purely a day made up to obtain alibis. You know what, Plant? Maybe. I really, like I said, like I don't know, but don't you think like they would know? Hi, Chanel. Don't you think they would know by the phones? Like if they seen texts or something? I don't know. Don't you think the phones would be telling? Like the social media, because Candace took so many pictures. And then Linda says, when I heard those boys were in a pool and Candace made them lay down the hot tar driveway at a get together without even a shirt on. I mean, if she did that abuse in front of people, imagine what in private. Yes. Maybe, Plant. Maybe they do. But yes, Linda, I do. And I've also seen people, what is it with Leslie? I have to be honest, I haven't really looked into Leslie very much. I see people tend to not believe her for some reason, but she, to me, my opinion, in the McDonough interview with them, with her, she came across very just like she hated the life out of Candace, very angry, very forward. I didn't really find her to be a liar. But then again, I think she said something like she was a nurse and she wasn't or something. Not I don't really know too much about Leslie, but I do believe that that happened. You oh, 7 of Life, you think it all happened on the 14th. Plant Diva, dying to know, and her last name Hill. Bossing, controlling. Yes, very angry, wasn't she? She was very angry. But I just thought, like, gosh, this woman really hates Candace. But then again, I mean, I guess if you witness someone treating their children this way, making them lay on this hot pavement, you probably wouldn't like them very much either. You'd probably have a really crappy opinion and say, not too nice of things about them. So I think it's almost like when I was watching that interview, because I really don't know much about Leslie, when I was watching that interview, I was just thinking, Chris McDonough basically gave her an outlet to just say it, and she said it all, you know. But it was weird because as soon as he asked them, what happened, what do you think happened? Right away, um, Allie and Graham Bun, we'll call her what Doug does, because I don't, Sherry, right away, those two say she killed her. But Leslie didn't say that. Leslie said, I think she did something to her. But she didn't like say kill her like the other two did. So I don't know. She seemed to be the most angry, the one that hated Candace the most. So I was surprised that she didn't say kill her also. Because it was really obvious that they all have discussed this multiple times, which, I mean, if it was one of my ex friends and this happened, I would definitely be talking about it too. I think that's normal. And what do you guys think about Hunter? I was really suspicious of Hunter in the beginning. And now I'm sort of like, this is a 15-year-old kid with ADHD. He just seemed to be saying whatever. Yeah. And I wanted to, yeah, verdict is a little out, Linda, for you. Um, I wanted to say that about H because I do believe Candace. Surprisingly, I believe Candace about something. But when Hunter said that Candace called him, and then Candace said Hunter called her, I think Hunter called Candace because right in the McDonough interview with them, he's interviewing them, and Hunter asked Leslie right in the middle of it if she'll take him somewhere. So it seems to me that what Candace was saying about Leslie not doing much with her kids, I think her kids have gotten very used to asking her friends to do things for them instead. Just like he asked Leslie right on camera. I think he probably did, call up Candace because he was bored and wanted to do something. Knew she was out and about buying her twisted teas and her nicotine vapes. Plant Diva, I never was suspicious of age. I think he knows everything. I think he knows a lot. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And is pivotal in this case. I agree with that. I think he may have lied during the CM interview, but there were good reasons and trust has come out, in my opinion. Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you just said in that. I except for I was suspicious of him in the beginning just because I didn't know the players. But once I started seeing and now his father, holy good Lord Almighty, his father. Can we just touch on that human being for a minute? That man. Good grief. Whoa. I watched him and I was like, oh Lord, I am going to pray for this child because with Allie as his mother and this man as his father, this boy does not have much shot in life. Andrew. Yeah. Same. He was so ridiculous. Plant Diva. I can't even pretend I understand him, his motives, anything. I cannot figure him out. You know what, Plant? I don't even think there's anything to figure out. I think he's one of them people that likes to hear himself talk. That's what I think it is. He loves to hear himself talk. I think he wants to capitalize on what's going on with his son. He obviously wasn't a father to him. He lived in a completely different state. I just think like he's just like, oh, my son's in the middle of like, a missing child case, so I'm gonna go on YouTube and capitalize on this while I can. And that's what I think it is with this guy. Not a good parenting bone in his body. And have you seen the way he talks to his children on his live streams? I mean, he's another one. Imagine behind closed doors with that guy. Good grief. Yeah, I don't either. I think he's thrown his hat in the ring because he can. Oh, it's Hunter's father, and then we all watch him and we're like, oh, thanks, but no thanks. Okay, we really don't need to hear anything from you, sir, because we don't even know what the heck you're talking about. He's monetized. Wow. Exactly. See, I didn't even know that. And Sundown Farms, welcome. Sundown says, in my opinion, H knows a lot. He was on probation at the time Summer went missing. Yes, anybody know what he was on probation for? Very curious about that. I don't think he did anything to Summer, but I think he knows a lot more than he's saying. Agreed. I think he knows a lot. Unbelievable. I have to go back to Linda. Unbelievable. This guy's monetized. And for what? I unfortunately will never get this time back in my life that I spent watching one of his streams. But who on earth is watching this man all the time? Plant Diva, did he publish his Amazon wish list yet? Probably. His Cash App, his Venmo, he's probably got it all up there. And we already see how YouTube operates, girls and guys, if there's any guys in here. But you just put your stuff up there and people throw money at you. Even if you're a sex offender in jail with a missing child, people give you $300. He's tried to take a car with a child in it. Good Lord. I'm not surprised. If anybody's surprised about that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't tell you because it took one time for me to watch this man. I was like, oh no, Lord have mercy. I am not watching this. I cannot believe he is monetized. That is just gross. On probation for. Oh. Are you serious? I mean, I'm going to assume he didn't know the child was in the car, right? Sundown. He grosses me out. I can't watch him. Yes, he is very annoying and gross. I agree. Seven of Life. Thank you, hon, at True Commentary. Great work. Have a great day. All got to run. I'll rewatch later. Okay, bye, Seven of Life. Thank you for commenting and being a part of the chat. Have a good day. Go check it out. I really. You've blown my mind, Linda. You have. Listen, Linda. Okay. Listen, Linda. You have blown my mind with this man being monetized. I can't get over that. I cannot get over that. What does he bring to YouTube exactly? This is, my gosh, this case is just, and this is how, this is how we just get so far away from summer. We do, because there's so many insane, nutty players that attach themselves to this case. That, there's a missing child in the middle of it. And you have people over here getting their trailers moved for them, getting channels monetized. Don Wells and Candace Bly have a whole media crew. I mean, what in the world? Jesus. Oh. All I can say is pray for these people. That's all you can do, because did this child really have a chance? I mean, seriously, just look at all the immediate players around her, and then even the secondary players around them. Please find one normal person, just one. Maybe Robin, maybe. Anyone else? There isn't one. Every single one of them that comes out of the woodwork is like, where in the hell did they dig you out from? Sorry, excuse my language, but that's how I feel. Every time a new player from this case comes onto the scene, I'm like, oh my gosh, another one. Another one. Where do they find these people? Linda. I like Linda. Linda has made my day with that information. I don't know why. So Linda says, I was watching a clip channel yesterday, and Andrew was telling his subs to not donate to him via YouTube, but do PayPal because YouTube takes too much. Yeah, I think they take like 30%. My channel is not monetized because even though I do have over 1,000 subs, I don't have the watch time. I don't do a lot of live streams. No, I love you. I love you, Linda. You just have made my day with that, because I just can't get over that. I just can't get over it. There's absolutely no reason in the world this man should be monetized on YouTube. But yeah, my channel is not monetized because you have to have 4,000 watch hours. People have had to watch 4,000 hours of your content, and you have to have over 1,000 subscribers. So I'm not monetized, but I could put up, here's my Cash App or PayPal or whatever. I just haven't done that. I'm not going to do that, because, when my channel does become monetized, if people want to watch it, then fine, they do. If they don't, they don't. But unbelievable that he has his PayPal up because he don't want YouTube to take their cut. That's, I don't mean to laugh. And I'm not even really laughing. It's just, I don't even know what other thing to do here. So Sundown Farms, sweet Summer. She didn't have a chance. Too many sketchy people around her. Yeah, she really didn't. She really didn't. This child did not have a chance. I look at every single player in this, and I call them players because they all feel just like players in a game to me. I mean, these people they're liars. They all have a criminal record. They're just not good people. They're just not. And Allie, you got to question a lot of things about Allie. With her mother saying, "Oh, we thought that Candace and Hunter were doing things, and we tried to tell her." What did Allie do? She walked right away, right in the house. She was not trying to be any part of that conversation. So that tells me that Allie's family said to her, "Hey, Candace and Hunter, Candace might be doing some sexual things to Hunter," and she ignored them. Didn't want to talk about it. "Hey, Allie, Candace is giving your son alcohol." Oh, no big deal. Hey, Allie, Candace is giving your son tobacco vapes, probably smoking pot with him. Doesn't care. I mean, are we really gonna take this woman's word? She didn't even care about her own kids. If someone was doing that to my 15-year-old, listen, Linda, we would have major problems, okay? Um, yes, I'm glad they got out too, Linda. Plant Diva, I love the pic of Summer, the Christmas pic where she's looking down at her shoes. Yes, I know. You know what? She's just so beautiful. Her little face, she's such a precious little face. I think she looks just like Dawn, to be honest with you. But you know, she made Dawn's jeans look really good because she was just such a beautiful little girl. And a rare fact, they weren't friends for a very long time at all. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, remember when Allie said that? Oh, here's a little secret fact for you guys. And yeah, they weren't friends for long. Any decent mother, any mother worth her salt would be infuriated. If my mother said to me, "Hey, Jessica, I don't trust this woman around, your son." If my mother said that to me, oh, I would definitely take note and probably distance myself. But she ignored it. She just ignored it. And then to find out that your son's being fed alcohol and tobacco and probably other things. As a 15-year-old, he's just ready to take it all. Oh, you're going to give me free alcohol? Okay. You're going to give me free tobacco? Okay. My mom's not going to say anything about it. Sure. Because he's 15. They don't make good decisions when they don't have good adults around them. And Hunter doesn't. Plant Diva, especially after the time frame when Allie's kids were up there and C wouldn't let them come home. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's something, you know, I'm not going to sit here and body shame Allie, okay? Because I'm not the tiniest woman in the world. I got meat and curves and bones like every other woman. Um, she's larger, and therefore, I don't think she moves around as much maybe as other people. And so it's not really too hard to believe that she probably didn't do a lot of moving around, and therefore she probably didn't do a lot of things with her kids. Um, so to me, it just seems like Allie doesn't really care, which I think is how her and Candace became friends in the first place. They just don't really care too much like a normal mother would about their kids. Just kind of like whatever goes. Sundown says, absolutely. When I was young, I would have been the same way. Yeah. It's just, yeah. There's a reason, I'm very, very, very selective with my friends, like extremely. Like, I have two friends. I have two friends in my life, and there is a reason for that. You know, I'm selective about who I have around me, who I have around my family, my children, things like that. Um, I'm not the most trusting person of other people. I'm just not. And people like Candace or like Allie, if I had met them in real life, it probably would have taken me 2 seconds to say, "Oh, nope, no way, no how, that's not happening." I wouldn't be inviting them to my house, just the way they talk, just the way the things that they say. Candace's mouth, she's got the biggest potty mouth in the world. Oh, yes. And listen, my close friends that I have, my best friend and I, she's been my best friend. She'll probably listen to this live stream later. So, hi, Erica. But we've been best friends for, over 25 years. I mean, my kids have known her since birth and vice versa. Oh, Carrie, you have. I listened to Donna. I listened to Donna as well. I'm curious to know what you thought about that, Carrie, because that was some pretty heavy stuff. The Donna Serafina reading is what we are talking about. It was really heavy. Um, and I'll be honest, it just sunk my stomach a little bit. I mean, I'm glad she shared it, but it did sink my stomach. I need to. What time is it? 6:39. How long have we been on? Oh, just a little over an hour here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my sweet girl up and get her. And she's been waiting all week to wear her Valentine's dress. Plantina, but yes, I have two close girlfriends, been friends for over 40 years. Exactly. And it's people like that. Like my best friend doesn't. She don't feel like a friend. She just feels like family. Plant Diva, it was. It really was. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I'll tell you guys, like what she was describing, I went to Pigeon Forge for Christmas vacation. I've said this before also. But everything she was describing sounded just like Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, by the way. Sounded just like that place. And that's not far from Gatlinburg. We went to Gatlinburg also, but it just didn't sound like Gatlinburg to me. It sounded just like Pigeon Forge. Pigeon Forge has a Wonderworks. I have pictures of it. It's, they have this carousel, and it's so oddly placed because it's on this place called the Island. It's not an actual island. They just call it that. But it's got like every store imaginable, all these restaurants, it's got rides, arcades. It's just like this giant playground almost for adults and kids. They have a moonshine distillery there, and then there's this carousel, and it's so cute and pretty, and it's like an old time carousel. And my daughter, I have pictures of my daughter on it, and when she was talking about that carousel, that's all I could think about. But it really did sound like Pigeon Forge to me. Sundown Farms, I don't blame you. It was. Wait, Plant Diva, who has pictures from Pigeon Forge? Candace and Don? Because I have tons of pictures of the island, of the carousel, of Wonderworks, of all of those places. Morning, old G. Catch the replay at lunch. Yes. Play it, Diva. You're a wealth of knowledge. um. Oh, bye, Linda. Thank you. Thank you for subbing. And you have a good day as well. But really, so you know what? I'm gonna have to go and look. Is this on Candace's Facebook? I really haven't. Oh, I did not know that. I'm gonna have to go look. I'm gonna have to look and check that out because when Donna was saying that, I was like, this does not sound like Gatlinburg. I've been to Gatlinburg. I went there also because Gatlinburg's like right there by Pigeon Forge. It's not far. So we went to Pigeon Forge, and it's like a strip. I was really shocked when we got there because my in-laws are the ones that wanted to go there for Christmas vacation. So because we usually go to the Poconos, but we went to Pigeon Forge this year, and me and my significant other were like, "What the heck is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee?" We just didn't know. And when we got there, we were like, "Whoa!" It was like a Vegas strip without the casinos, but like all the fun stuff. Like anything fun you can think of doing is there. There's go-karts, there's snow tubing, there's everything. There's rides, there's a zip lining, and it's all there. It's like all on this strip. A giant Alcatraz museum. There's hee haw shows. There's a lot of dinner and show places. There's just so much to do that we were actually overwhelmed because there was no way we were going to be able to get to do everything that was there. You would need at least a couple of weeks to even attempt to do all of the things that they have there. Um, they have they have a lot of stuff. They have different buildings that look like they're upside down, like they're built that way to make it look like they just kind of fell from the earth. They have this huge replica of the Titanic. Um, they just have so much. Yes, they have a huge Ferris wheel on the islands in Pigeon Forge. I have pictures of that as well. A shack like thing. We went to a place called Mama's Kitchen to eat. And they had like these shacks, like they look like toilets, like old time toilets, and they were like shacks. But yes, they have gosh, the name is escaping me. Oh, the Hatfield and McCoy dinner show. That was like shacky looking. There's a lot. Carrie, yes, but if it really happens, so sick that there are people like this in this world. Carrie, that's true, but unfortunately, there are really people that sick in this world. Um, I don't know if you guys follow the Josh Duggar's case, but I will tell you that he's in jail right now. He's going to be there for a really long time because he had CP on his computer. But one of the videos that he had it's considered the worst CP video that's ever been released. And it was released by this man that got a hold of it. And unfortunately, I'll keep this very brief and very as light as I can. 18-month-old, and it's called The Destruction of Daisy. Please don't. You can Wikipedia and read about it if you want to. Huge trigger warning there, though. Please don't ever look that video up. But it's absolutely, like I said, she was only 18 months old, and she was disfigured for life. It was torturous. And Josh Duggar had that on his laptop, and he had watched it several times. He downloaded it. Carrie, sounds like she was sacrificed as she was at risk to these bad guys. So they put her in heaven. Yeah, that's pretty much what Donna said. That's pretty much what Donna said. And, I have a hard time not believing Donna because she has yet to be wrong. It's hard to discount her. I mean, she really did nail the Vallow case, and then even the Morphew case, the Petito case. She told us how it happened, how they were murdered before anyone else did, before law enforcement, before anyone else. And yes, Plant Diva, if you didn't watch the Donna Serafina, I don't want to say it because it is graphic, and it is heavy to listen to. So that, um, yeah, it really is hard to dispute her. But I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to upset you in any way. You can watch that on your own if you choose to. Um, I think this is where I'm gonna end this here, guys, just because I do have to get my baby girl up and get her ready for her Valentine's party. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for all of you for watching. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day.